Congratulations to the Auburn Tigers for winning the SEC tournament after an impressive performance against Tennessee. What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports. I wanted to cover the SEC tournament a little bit more here on this channel, but I've been sick the last few days and just didn't get to do exactly what I wanted to do. Hopefully I don't sound too awful in this video. Hopefully going to get over this in the next day or two. But yes, an impressive performance by the Auburn Tigers. We're going to talk about this team, the SEC tournament, and also how far some of these SEC teams could go in the NCAA tournament. I made a prediction video making predictions for the SEC tournament back before the tournament started, and my predictions were looking really good up until Tennessee beat Kentucky. I had Auburn in the championship. I had Kentucky in the championship. I had Florida upsetting LSU. That happened. But yeah, when Tennessee beat Kentucky, that kind of messed my predictions up. But if you watch that video, I told you guys, Auburn is very capable of winning this tournament. I kind of had a gut feeling that they might win it, but as an Auburn fan, I don't want to show too much bias, so I'll usually lean against Auburn if it's really close. And they're a risky pick because if they're not making shots, they can lose to anybody. But if they're making shots, they can beat anyone. And they were making shots today against Tennessee, but I thought it was really more about their defense. Their defense just came out with an intensity that they had not shown, I think, really in this whole SEC tournament. Just took it to another level. Tennessee did not seem prepared. Maybe they were still just kind of celebrating that Kentucky win. I don't know. But this was a really impressive performance by Auburn. They did shoot the ball well in the second half. They started the game 2 for 12 from 3, so it wasn't like they came out on fire. It took them a while to get into this game. Jared Harper was in foul trouble the whole first half. He didn't play after he got those 2 quick fouls. Didn't make a field goal until like the last 2 minutes when he hit that 3. I think the difference in this Auburn team compared to last year is the depth. They have so much depth. When Jared Harper gets in foul trouble, it's not that big of a deal because they have other guys who can pick him up. And another thing I want to point out is Horace Spencer. I don't think he gets enough credit. He had a great tournament, did a great job in the post defending the big man from the other teams. He also gave him some offense at times, gave him a spark, was a big rebounder for him. And I thought he was a big key for them in this tournament. Played a lot of minutes, so I do want to give a shout out to Horace Spencer after a very solid SEC tournament. But of course, Jared Harper, Bryce Brown, Chuma Okeke, those guys are the guys we knew were going to be the best players for Auburn. I still think this Tennessee team can make a pretty deep run in the tournament. I'm going to give you the latest seeds based off of Joe Lunardi's bracketology on ESPN. I don't think they've been updated though since the SEC championship was complete. I think they last updated this morning, but they have Auburn as a 5 seed. I think they're at least going to be a 4 seed after this win. They have LSU as a 3 seed. I'm just looking through the bracket here. They have Tennessee as a 2 seed. I think they will probably stay there after this loss. If they had won this game, I think they were going to be a 1 seed. We have, who else from the SEC? Kentucky is a 2 seed. I think that's probably correct. We've got Ole Miss as a 9 seed, and that's just, you don't want to be a 9 seed. You don't want to be an 8 or a 9 seed because if you win, you have to play a 1 seed the next round. I'd rather be, if you're in that range, I'd rather drop down to maybe an 11 seed, and then you get to play a 6 seed the first round, then a 3 seed. So the best team that you'd have to face would be a 3 seed, and then you're in the Sweet 16. But yeah, 8 or 9 is always the worst line to get. Florida projected to be a 10 seed. And I believe that is it for the SEC schools. Actually, no, you have Mississippi State in there as well. Sorry. They are projected as a 6 seed. So that's where each team is projected to go in the SEC. And this is the SEC channel. So obviously that's all we're going to talk about in this video. We're not going to talk about the rest of the field. I feel like Tennessee, Kentucky, Auburn, all 3 of those teams could make a run to the Final Four. I kind of think the champion this year is going to come out of the ACC, but just we're talking about the Final Four. I think all 3 of those teams could make a run. LSU is interesting. You've got the issues with their coach, so I don't know where the mindset is there, but that's a really good team. To me, they're potentially an Elite 8 type team. I think everyone else could make a run to the Sweet 16. Ole Miss has a really good team. Mississippi State has a good team. Florida has a good team. So I think those teams, again, could make a run at least to the Sweet 16, maybe a little further, I don't know. I don't, if Ole Miss does indeed get a 9 seed, they're probably not going to get past the 1 seed. But that's just a projection. We'll find out later today where all these teams are going to be seeded. But I think the SEC is going to have a very strong showing in the NCAA tournament. I still think the ACC is the best conference in basketball, but I do think the SEC is the number 2 school, number 2 conference, I should say. And I wouldn't be surprised if all 4 of the Final Four teams are from the ACC and the SEC. So go ahead and mark that down. I'm not going to say that's a prediction. I want to see how the brackets come out. But I do think that the SEC has a great shot to get 1 or 2 teams to the Final Four. If Auburn can stay hot, if they can make shots and play that with that kind of intensity that they played with today, they can beat anybody in the country. But again, the problem is if they're not making shots, perhaps they could lose. They could get upset. So they're a tough team to pick. Austin Wiley coming back, if he can play his normal minutes once we get to the tournament, is going to give them an inside presence. So if they're not making shots, they can go inside to him. Okeke has also been good inside. So that's a team I really like. Tennessee has it inside and out as well. And Kentucky probably has the most potential out of all the teams in the SEC. But I do think all 3 of those teams could make a run to the Final Four. And it's pretty likely, in my opinion, that 2 of them will get to the Final Four. I want to know your thoughts on all the SEC teams. Who do you think can make a deep run in the tournament? What did you think about the SEC tournament, today's game? Anything you want to comment on in this video? I know we've had a lot of Auburn coverage. We do have one more Auburn video. Again, we are partnering with Mark Rogers TV. We're going to have an update on that coming up this week over on the main channel, SG1 Sports. We'll be talking about all of our new channels. So I will fill you in on all the details there. Make sure you watch for that video. Again, it's going to be on the main channel, SG1 Sports. But that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for more here on the SG1 Sports SEC Football Channel.